Good day to you. My name is Marcin Krajewski and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. And today we have a fascinating character with us in the studio, an orchestra man, Marcin Krajewski. Thank you very much for coming.
Hello, it's a big pleasure to be here.
And right now it's hard for me to introduce you a little bit because you are a former ballet dancer, a choreographer, sort of musician, an author of lyrics, and moreover an actor. So a lot of things combined in one career.
Yep.
But let's go back to the beginnings. And you started with dancing. And you started as a ballet dancer, which is something very unique and I would say interesting as well. Tell us, how did you end up being a ballet dancer? Because after all, it's not a very common career, especially for men.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's actually a nice story. I used to be actually in a music school, playing piano, but I was such an energetical kid that I was not able to stay in one place more than a few minutes. And when you are in music school, you have to sit and practice, and practice and practice. And for me to stay 1 hour in front of the piano was almost impossible. So it was a nightmare, and for me and for my parents. And I remember one friend of my mother said to her, "Why don't you give him to ballet school? So then he will spend all his energy there, and then at home he will be calm." And then my mother thought, okay, that's a good idea, and that's how I ended up in ballet.
Okay, so it was basically an idea how to burn you out of energy,
Yep.
So your parents could survive at home and actually do some work.
Yeah, and kind of have a more calm situation at home with me. And yeah, and actually I started with ballet pretty late. I was for 1 year in ballet school in Warsaw when I was 10 years old, but I'm not from Warsaw, so the distance was a problem. So my parents took me out of the school. I come back to the music school, but then 2 years later, it came the same idea with the same reasons why I should come back to the ballet. So then I came back to Poznań Ballet School with age 14, which was pretty late.
Which is old already.
It was pretty late. It's 8th grade in primary school. The age which I had, I was 14. And
so your peers already knew much more than you.
yeah, and normally there is a selection in this year.
Yes.
Because this is 5 years of ballet school already. And the kids which were not really talented enough to go on with study of ballet, normally in this year which I enter, are being selected. So
Cut out,
they said to my parents, it's your responsibility. If during 1 year he will not get to the level of the school, then he will have to leave. And it was a risk, but then it happened that I stayed.
You were talented enough.
I stayed,
well,
and then I start to win prizes, and the school start to send me to competitions. I happen to be that I have talent to jumps and coordination, to do all the evolutions, crazy stuff in the air, which mostly with the ballet dancers, the male variations or solo, which they represent. You need to jump, you have to turn, and
in the same moment hold a female ballet
exactly.
dancer, so a lot of things.
Yeah, and somehow I had a very big facility to all of these evolutions, which happened to be very successful everywhere which I was being sent from school. So I was doing various competitions, and in the end of ballet school, I won, I believe, all the prizes which you can win in Poland. I got a scholarship. I got the prize from my school. I got the prize from the Minister of Culture. I got the prize from the foundation, Ballet Foundation from Szczecin. It was many prizes, and still won the first prize in the ballet competition in Gdańsk. And because of that, they chose me to take part in Eurovision.
So I would say a
dancers.
new Polish Nijiński was born, and
Might be.
Well, congratulations for all of this, and we will continue with this story in the next episode because it's all very fascinating. You hear how it began, and I will tell you in the next story how Marcin ended up in Paris on a stage and later on representing Poland in many, many other places. So please stay with us for another episode, and thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.